Hello there, Oz.
Hello there, Curtis.
Hey, what movie we watching this week?
This week we have a movie marriage of Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai,
Yeah.
meets Arrested Development
Yeah.
with a touch of Point Break,
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit of The Notebook,
Yeah.
and Bokeem Woodbine. This week we're watching Jason's Lyric.
And Bokeem Woodbine.
And Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah.
He's such a fun name to say.
Yeah, Bokeem Woodbine, yeah.
I really like him as an actor. It's one of those that you kind of like several students at school. I recognize the name and I recognize the face, but I don't necessarily always put the two together.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
And so, I'm like, oh, Bokeem Woodbine's in this. I've heard of that guy. And then when I started watching, I'm like, oh, it's that guy.
It's that.
Yeah.
It's that Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah, that, not the other Bokeem Woodbine.
No, not the other one or the other one.
Yeah.
It's that Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah. I'm surprised that his name wasn't already registered with SAG when he went to get his card.
There's so many Bokeem Woodbines.
Oh, I might have to change my name.
Yeah.
He's probably going as David Jones.
Probably. Yeah, I'm looking through his filmography right now. He was in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
He played the sheriff. He was in several episodes of Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He was Shocker number 2 in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes.
Not number 1, number 2.
Right.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he was in Black Dynamite because of course he was.
Because everybody was in Black Dynamite.
Yeah. You and I were in Black. We had cameos.
We had a great time on set.
We were the Dynamite. We weren't the black part.
No, we played the Dynamite.
That was Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and fans of all ages, to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme. This month being our annual Wives' Choice Month.
Wives' Choice.
And we satisfy that theme with a movie that our wives pick.
Yep.
I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I am the other host, Curtis.
And before we get too far, we'll give a shout out to our best and favorite Patreon subscribers, Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colleen K., and Lyle M. Thank you, one and all, for your Valentine patronage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to think of them as Bokeem Woodbine number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Well, Don S., he's got the Bokeem Woodbine haircut down.
He does.
Yeah.
He's in the fan club.
Yeah. And so... we love our patrons, and
yes, we do.
We love all of you. We love all of you. We're recording this a week before Valentine's Day, so my heart's full of love.
It is. It's full of love here in Wives' Choice Month. Yeah. And what better way to satisfy, especially this week with Jason's Lyric.
Yeah.
A movie that does involve love as well as other things as well.
Yeah, a lot of other things like TVs.
Yes, like electronics.
Yeah,
residential electronics.
Right, and playing hard to get in the town of Houston, Texas, the small town of Houston.
Yes, the tiny burg of Houston.
Yeah, where people just seem to be related because plot needs it.
Well, I mean, we've already established that New York and L.A. are tiny communities, falling down with L.A.
and those are the
Cloverfield.
Yeah, and those are the two largest cities in the United States. So
yes,
Houston it's barely a blip.
You blink it, you miss it.
Unincorporated Houston, Texas.
It's a little known fact. Yeah, it is. It's unincorporated Houston.
Yeah, they have one gas station. Like, subscribe, do all those things you're supposed to do. Hit the website, let's talk about flicks.com. Catch our back channel of everything we've done up to this point. So, still working on my Criterion series. We were talking pre-show. It was a very busy week, but I woke up with a leg cramp earlier than I wanted to this morning. Woke up earlier, not like I was planning on waking up with a leg cramp at a certain time. I got a preemptive start on it.
You don't use an alarm clock. You know that at a certain time every morning your leg will cramp. So.
Yeah, as soon as it kicks in, I'm like, oh, must be 7.
There it is.
So I thought, I got a couple hours this morning, and so I've got about a half hour left of Spine number 20, Sid and Nancy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Have you seen that before?
I have seen bits and pieces of Sid and Nancy. I have not seen it.
It's Gary Oldman just gets lost in that character.
Yeah, well,
it's Gary Oldman, but it's really good. Alex Cox, he did.
I was just trying to remember who directed that. Yeah,
it's good. It's very good. I got about a half hour left, and it's one of those that. Is there a plot? No, but it's kind of a biopic of sorts, and so it's it hooks you. But man, Alex Cox does such a great job of like set design and keeping an eye on those little details. It's a fun watch.
Mm-hmm. Alex
So
Cox, his sibling twice removed, Ronnie Cox.
yeah, well, and they're Bobby's kids.
I was setting you up for that one.
Yeah.
It's like if I throw a Ronnie Cox in there, we're gonna get a Bobby Cox.
Yeah,
back
unlike Bebe's kids, these are Bobby's kids.
they're Bobby's kids.
Yeah.
Baby's kids, Bobby's kids. Yeah.
With Uncle Leo Mazzoni, he sits in the rocking chair all day,
just chewing his tobacco
Yeah.
with some tumbleweed going by.
just Uncle Leo.
Uncle Leo.
So we got Jason's lyric here. Who's in this movie?
Oh, who's in Jason's lyric? Was it 1994? I think
94.
94's?
Yep,
Yeah,
94 is Jason's lyric.
But by the way, before we get into the characters, why this movie, Oz? It's Wives' Choice Month.
Yeah.
How and why did we land on Jason's
Well,
lyric?
I'd mentioned before that my wife likes to pick films that either you and I have not seen, or at least one of us has not seen.
Yeah.
And this is
I appreciate that.
Yeah, this is one neither one of us have seen. And it was I was kind of asking her about it last night. I'm like, is this a movie you rented or whatever? And she alluded to it was just one that she doesn't remember when she saw it, but it was just on TV, and she just had some time, and it's a romantic movie, and she just happened to stumble upon it, maybe not even from the jump, but it was enough that she finished watching it, enjoyed it, but probably knowing Jenny, probably didn't see the entire thing at first. It was one that she watched like the second half of,
sure,
and then was curious about the first half. So then when she found it on TV again, watched the whole thing, and it's just one that she's probably not revisited much, but it's stuck on her brain, and one that she enjoyed. And when it was trying to brainstorm what movies could we watch this year that you haven't seen, and she's like, have you seen Jason's lyric? I said, I have not. Matter of fact, I know nothing about it. So here we are.
Yeah. Fun story.
Yeah.
Again, this is one I didn't see coming.
Me either. Yeah.
But I appreciate taking a look at kind of a subgenre that you and I, just because of kind of who we are and our backgrounds and history, like, this is probably not a movie that I know it's a movie I didn't grow up with.
Right.
It's definitely a 90s black cinema movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can kind of tell it's a movie of that era. It feels very 90s.
That comes up later.
But I liked it.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, I like that because I've got I heard a quotation about music, and I don't remember who to credit it to, and it doesn't really matter. But it really extends to really all art, movies included, that if it's, regardless of what year it came out, if it's a movie you haven't seen before, it's a new movie. And so when this was on the radar growing up in 94, you and I turned 15 that year. This wasn't something that we watched. And that's okay. It wasn't by choice. It just didn't watch it. But I enjoy that it could still cycle back around and it'd be a new movie. So this was a new movie, and it's fun to go down little back alleys and see what's there. And this was one that there was kind of like Latin infused music had a run there in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I feel like there was the span of the 90s, a chunk of the 90s, where there was a lot of energy behind high profile black cinema. Yeah. Not just blaxploitation type stuff, but let's tell stories that, because color doesn't matter. Romance happens all over the place. And so, you got films like this and Poetic Justice and Waiting to Exhale, and it's like you've got some big star power, with black artists that Hollywood was finally recognizing that let's put some effort behind this, and make a film, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and taking that a step further too, I appreciate the fact that Hollywood actually did put some money into capturing black culture. we had like this sort of subgenre of movies. We had the movies that had a real kind of gritty look at urban Black culture. Like
Yes,
Menace to Society.
exactly.
You know,
Boys in the Hood,
yeah. Um,
and Don't Be a Menace to South Central, or Drinking Your
to,
Juice in the
to,
Hood.
yes, the Wayans brothers most
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah, most of all, yeah.
But again, the '90s. Again, I am not going to profess to be an
No.
expert on Black culture, Black cinema culture. But it was reflecting on it. It was good to see that, and I wish we had more of that. That wasn't as, I guess, kind of nichey as it comes
Right.
across today.
Now, I know we just joked about the Wayans brothers, but
Yes.
how much, I just looked up really quick just to make sure I had my dates right.
Mm-hmm.
How much influence do you think the success of In Living Color had on the expansion of Black cinema art?
I mean, I don't think the timing is just coincidental.
Right.
Because
In Living Color was huge.
Yeah, In Living Color, and that was on, that was In Living Color hit. That was network TV.
Yes.
And that was I think 89. I want to say is
Yeah,
when
it's
Living Color
like
debuted.
90. 89,
Yeah.
90.
The Cosby Show had been, was the big hit of the mid to late 80s, but that didn't really capture. It featured predominantly Black characters, but it didn't really capture, I think, what most people would ascribe to as as Black culture.
No, it was like almost like you're building this bridge of let's take a white sitcom and make them Black actors.
Yeah, like A Different World, which was a spinoff of the Cosby Show, definitely did more of that.
Yes.
But In Living Color, that was a sketch show too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it also had like the dancers and like the music artists they had. And Arsenio, came a couple of years later. The 90s was it was it's reflected, and I didn't really put this much thought. Like I'm literally doing this.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right now.
We're just going.
Like I really do appreciate kind of what the 90s were for Black culture. BET came out during that era. But yeah, I mean, just going back to your question, I can't quantify how much In Living Color impacted.
Of course
things,
not.
But it brought Black humor to the mainstream. It brought Black musicians to the mainstream.
Yeah.
Elements of Black culture. And I don't think it's coincidence that 3-4 years later we get Jason's Lyric, we get Poetic Justice.
It was a little bit of the studios gave Black comedy a chance and it hit, and to where just the natural money making idea would be like, well, what about other Black genres? Like, will that work? And there's unfortunately a central theme through a lot of this, a lot of violence and a lot of gang and a lot of whatever. But if that's accurate, because obviously we did not grow up in that environment, you don't have to adjust your television, folks. We are Caucasian. And so, but it's like, but if that's accurate to the upbringing, then it matters. And so,
I mean, it's storytelling.
Exactly.
Like gangsta hip hop. It specifically hit late 80s, early 90s as well. Which kept evolving, and again, I don't think it's a surprise. The 90s is really when the 80s was the roots of all of this, and then the 90s is when it kind of hit the mainstream.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm right there with you. I really, I'm excited to visit this, and just spoiler alert for 2 weeks. My wife has plucked another one from, that genre of film. And it's, I'm excited to watch that too, because it's storytelling. Like you said, it's people and their culture, and we all should be open to accepting and learning and experiencing and enjoying it.
And just having a greater appreciation.
Yeah.
So getting back, who is in Jason's Lyric?
Yes.
We have Jason himself, Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
That's going to come back later. As Alan Payne, the good son.
Yeah.
Between him and his brother Joshua Bokeem Woodbine. Alan is the older brother, a couple years older, maybe 3-ish years older.
Yeah.
Alan is. he's trying to do the adult thing. He has a
Right.
job, and he's trying to be the good son and be.
He's got a little mother boy in him though.
He does. He's got a little mother boy in him.
Yeah.
I will agree with that completely. Yeah,
that's where my Arrested Development showed up. I'm like, oh, it's mother boy. Look at him go.
Stayed in the womb for 11 months, left claw marks on the way out.
Exactly.
And again, I also think it's important to mention, and again, not a defined character, but we're in Houston.
Yes.
I mean, I think the city of Houston itself, specifically the neighborhoods of Houston in which this took place, is kind of a character too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of, again, it's really easy to stereotype Black culture as being it's either New York or LA. It's East Coast, West Coast.
Right.
This is like deep South Texas.
Right.
So it's got a different flavor to it than some of the other movies that we mentioned. Yep. So we got Alan Payne and Bokeem Woodbine. We have their mother, Gloria, played by Suzanne Douglas in a couple of different eras.
Mm-hmm. She just put a different wig on her to match. Yeah.
Yeah. We have their father, who's rarely ever referred to as dad or father.
Yeah.
Mad Dog Alexander, played by Ghost Dog himself, Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Goo goo gaga.
Does he ever do a bad job?
Forrest Whitaker's amazing.
He's so amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think his peak performance to me was Bloodsport, but
yeah.
I mean, you can't top Forrest Whitaker in Bloodsport.
No. He was really good in that Star Wars show too, The Mandalorian. He's peak Forrest Whitaker there. No, but even then, he brings it.
Yeah,
he's like kind of like we mentioned by Jamie Lee Curtis last month. Just you're always going to get the best out of her.
Yeah,
no matter how big or small the project, she's coming.
Yeah, you're gonna get a great performance.
Yeah,
and so Forrest Whitaker gives a great performance in this movie. We've got Lyric, played by Jada Pinkett, pre-Smith. Pinkett here early in her career. We have Anthony Treach Chris, also one of the members of Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
Playing her brother, Alonzo, or A1. We have Rat, who's basically Eddie Griffin playing Eddie Griffin.
Yeah, but with less like humor.
Yeah,
he's not trying to be funny, Eddie Griffin.
At least earlier in the movie, he was. I think he was leaning more into the Eddie Griffin bit.
A little
bit. As the movie went on and got more serious, then he kind of
feel like the director's like Ed.
So backed off of that.
Eddie, this is a serious film.
Yes, 3 people just got shot, Eddie. Yeah. You don't have to make jokes about your curlers.
Yeah, you don't exactly.
I'll mention we've also got Lisa Nicole Carson as Marty, so Lyric's co-worker. She went on to be she played Eric LaSalle's girlfriend in ER, and she was in some other stuff too.
Good, good. And Redman.
Redman's in this. And of course we have Redman. Yeah. Gotta have a
because
in there.
Because that is something that, even though those two aren't as recognizable as some of the other, just creators of that era, there's a lot of musician to film crossover.
Yeah.
I met, you've got, Whitney Houston's in a bunch of stuff, and Tupac's in some things, and Janet Jackson's in some things. So I feel like, the casting director's like, well, we got to get somebody from music.
I think I just spoke to Redman. Is not in Wu-Tang. So.
No.
Yeah, close friends with Method Man, but
yes.
As at least according to the Wikipedia.
But he was not a Wu-Tang, no.
No, he was Wu-Tang adjacent.
It's true. He's no Ghostface Killah or Inspector Deck.
Nope.
Wu-Tang's so good. So.
Yes. All right. Also, Bokeem Woodbine was, speaking of Wu-Tang, and maybe this is why Wu-Tang was in my brain, Bokeem Woodbine was in several Wu-Tang videos in the late 90s and aughts.
Of course he was.
Mm-hmm.
I like a Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah, he's a handsome man. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he really is.
He has an intensity about him that just really lends itself well, especially to this movie.
Like you said, just the range of his acting. Like in this movie, you see him goofy, you see him charming, you see him menacing, and the whole time, and you take him seriously all throughout. Unlike last week with or a couple weeks ago with Keanu Reeves in Point Break, and you're like, I can't quite get that level, but he's no Bokeem Woodbine.
He's no Bokeem Woodbine.
So I would watch Bokeem Woodbine's John Wick series.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be on board for that. So
Wouldn't want to mess with his dog.
no, no. So
All right, let's get to the plot. Yeah,
this movie was a relative hit too. $7 million budget, made about 21 million at the box office. So people showed up. So that's good. So all right, plot of this film. It really is a pretty simple, you've seen it before plot. I almost put Romeo and Juliet in my movie Marriage.
A little bit. There's a little bit of that there too. Yeah.
But we kick off with a good time, a core memory of Jason and Josh and Mad Dog out in a field of wildflowers waiting for the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker is just a local farmer with a, Old Man Johnson or whatever they called him later on in the movie. He's got a water tank in his plane, and he flies over the wildflowers and waters them. And Mad Dog takes his boys there occasionally to just feel the rain. Because again, we're in deep South Texas.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of precipitation on the regular. And so it was just a fun memory. That's about the only positive we see out of Mad Dog.
Yes. Yeah. We start at the happiest point in the movie, and we take a trip from there.
Yeah. We expand upon, we spend quite a bit of time really with young Jason and Josh as their brothers, and they've got a contentious relationship with Dad. Mad Dog is Dad. Mad Dog is a war veteran, Vietnam vet, got injured in battle, lost half a leg. So it really took him out of who he was. And he does what a lot of veteran soldiers do, drowns himself in a bottle. He becomes estranged from his wife, can't accept that.
Didn't have access to supports, mental health services that are available now,
which was very common for Vietnam vets in general, but I'm sure even more so for
and little of the environment coming back to how how controversial the war
you're
was.
Not a hero.
And
so we have a lot of Mad Dog showing up drunk, pounding on the doors. Well, we get to a point where he comes in and he starts, beating his wife. He's already kind of distanced the kids. Jason very much wants to have a relationship with his father. Josh has the anger's there. And boy, if they did not cast perfect
I was just
children
thinking the same thing
for these two, for Alan Payne and Bokeem Woodbine, it was their mini-me's in these as kid roles.
Yeah.
So he breaks down the door, and he's kind of beating on Gloria a little bit because we need to get back together. Of course, she's refusing him.
He carves Gloria into his arm at one point.
It was rough. It was a hard watch. It was rough. And kudos to Forrest Whitaker for really making it as tragic as it was.
Actually carve Gloria into his arm.
It's there. It's
method acting.
Very much. Not it's because Method Man was a Wu-Tang guy. So Forrest got his inspiration from that. I'm going to be Method. I want to be a Method Man.
To the wiki, Method Man and Redman are good friends. Yeah. And so with Redman being on set,
I think on set, I think Redman told him, if you were a Method Man, you'd do this. So he just you didn't quite understand.
I didn't mean literally.
Yeah. It's not what I meant by method. So we see through. This feels like this is a 90s movie. It's got the 90s shot angle tropes to it. We see a gun being pulled, and he's dead. Yeah. We don't know who shot him. This isn't a whoddunit.
But, there's basically three people.
Yes, and it's not Gloria because she's there.
Yeah, it's Gloria, Jason, or Josh.
Yeah, so Mad Dog is killed, and Jason has recurring nightmares of the time his father was shot and killed. We're now in modern day, at least, whatever modern day is for this time. They're adults now. And we find out Jason and Josh have taken very different paths.
Yes, they have.
Now, young Josh was full of anger anyway because of his father. And he did not manifest that any better than one could than just chasing the life of crime. in and out of prison a lot. And this is Josh's release day. So Jason still lives at home with Gloria. They're excited for Josh to be released. Jason goes and picks him up. He's excited to see his brother.
I have in my notes that tough guy music is playing.
Yeah, very tough guy.
Sunglasses clad Josh leaves prison.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a roaming harmonica at some point.
Roaming harmonica.
Well, when I see him coming out of the prison, I envision Roddy Piper and They Live just roaming through town. Just this. I've done my time. I'm a hard man.
Yeah, I love Tom Petty's album "Roaming Harmonica."
That too, yeah,
great album.
Yeah, it's great. It's just him, microphone in the room,
it was all harmonica.
There's one microphone in the room, and he's just roaming around the room, so it feels distant at times, but sometimes it's really loud.
It's literal roaming harmonica.
John Popper did backup.
He did. He didn't do anything. He was just there.
He was just there.
He was just there, ready in case they needed it.
Steadying the microphone.
Just holding the microphone still.
As Tom Petty roamed around playing harmonica. Speaking of Kate Bush and her artistic style.
Yes.
So yeah, Jason's a responsible guy. He's an assistant manager at like an electronics store in Houston. Again, lives with mom. Josh is just out of prison. That's all he knows. All he knows is a hard life. And Jason tries,
Yeah, I mean, it's baked into his identity too. Like,
he can't really
envision himself as anything other than a criminal.
No, that's who he is.
Yeah, and again, that's something that this movie and like a lot of even just black artistry in the 80s and 90s, like that was the point of a lot, especially like some of the more like inner city stories that we hear, whether it be in film, whether it be in music. It's like once that becomes a part of your identity, it's inescapable. And there's and that's, again, I am not an expert at black culture and black media, but like just objectively, that's what a lot of the stories are like. And it's like a lot of hip hop is just storytelling.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's Gloria and Jason they still live in the same house that Mad Dog was killed in. I mean, that's just where they're at. Jason is assistant manager, like I said, at this electronics store, and he's celebrated. Calvin's got a job. Hey, Calvin.
I was literally thinking that as I was watching it.
It's big. It's a big deal. Yeah. And that's, that's wonderful, because everybody's definition of success is different.
Yeah.
And it has to be, or else only one person can be on top.
Yeah.
So we've got Josh out of prison, and naturally all his buddies miss him too. So, Jason's excited to see him, takes him around all the sites. Like, this is, meets up with a couple of friends. That's where he takes off with Rat and the other guy. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Other guy.
Yeah. And, and so he leaves Jason. Jason's got it. He's got his convertible pickup truck, and Rat and the other guy hop in, and Jason's excited to see his brother. And naturally, Josh is like, I'm going straight. Like, I'm good. Because of course he is. Why wouldn't he say those things? He's been incarcerated. I believe most of the time when a person is released, they probably are optimistic about their future because they get a chance to start over. And unfortunately, in Josh's case, the life he left behind is still there waiting for him because he doesn't seek it, or he doesn't seek anything else. Really sad. This was painful. Gloria hasn't seen Josh yet.
Yeah, another rough scene.
Yeah, very excited for him to be home. She's baked a welcome home cake. A bunch of family and friends are over. Jason's there. And Rat and the other guy bring Josh home, and he is plastered drunk.
So drunk.
He walks in, sees the welcome home cake, just reaches down and grabs a big handful of it, and just eats it, and it just destroys the mood.
Just the look on Gloria's face.
Jason and Josh, they just go dump him in bed.
Yeah,
and Jason's trying to hold together whatever semblance of a party he can, puts on some music, gets Gloria to dance with him, and right there, I think that scene shows exactly the family dynamic of these three. Mom doesn't want to give up, but kind of already has.
Mm-hmm.
Jason refuses to give up because he's a good son and his mom deserves it. And Josh is Josh.
Yeah.
So Jason has an opportunity here to be promoted to take over a store elsewhere.
Yeah, up in Dallas.
He's excited for the opportunity and turns it down.
Yeah.
Because I got to leave my mom.
Yeah.
And I can't.
Josh is back. Yeah.
Josh is back, and I can't do that to mom. Well, good thing he didn't, because one day a woman walks in to buy a TV. She didn't leave with it, but she comes in to buy one. Like, no, no, he loads it up for her, and he is smitten.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah. Because really, up to this point, she's the only woman other than mom that's in the movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But he is smitten, and she smells it from a mile away. Of course, she
does.
And plays about as hard to get as a woman can. Where can I find you? Well, if it's meant to be, you'll find me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they coincidentally stumble across each other again. I don't know how long later. It doesn't matter. But he's with Rat, and they go into a restaurant, and she happens to be working at said restaurant. So he's already like, it's serendipity. Could have put that in my movie Marriage too.
Also got to have the good son.
Yeah, I almost thought that too.
We've literally used that phrase several times already.
Yeah, I that did cross my mind afterwards, but I'm like, nah, I'm good where we're at. And so he feels like it's time, like it's meant to be, like you said. And of course, she's just like, let's go away. Like I really didn't expect to see you again in this small town of Houston, Texas.
I think they also said that she was on her period too. So
yeah.
Like she asked to go home early.
Right. Yeah. Because she was
in pain.
Yeah. And
here so she's definitely not in the mood for any shenanigans.
Yeah. And so he walks in and he's like, "Hey, girl, it's me." She goes, she's sitting at the bus stop. He comes out and he's he's laying it on thick.
He's putting on a full court press.
He's being respectful though.
Yeah.
He's not coming in and he's like, "Girl, you want to get with me?" None of that stuff.
Yeah,
he's just,
but he is being persistent,
very persistent, and she's clearly not interested. But you know what? She wasn't interested the first time.
Yeah,
but still gave him a little bit of a worm to dangle.
I was watching this scene with Patreon subscriber Melissa L. And speaking of the Wayans brothers, I turned to her. Very similar scene, and I'm gonna get you, sucker. Cramps. I asked you nicely. She picks up Kadeem Hardison by the throat. No, it's David Wayne. She picks up David Wayans by the throat. That's right.
I haven't seen that so long. It'd be like a brand new
we have to find a way to work that movie in. That movie is an all-timer for me.
Oh, I remember being hilarious. I just haven't seen it in forever. Yeah. And so he's really laying it on. He's like, we've got time right now. This bus is never on time as bus rolls into frame. And I loved that because it's like, I think I actually chuckled out loud of like, good. Everything is blowing up in his face. But he is persistent. So she gets on the bus and drives off, and basically it's like, you got to find me. Like, so he chases back in, he got her name, but, talking to the other waitress, buys like a dozen roses off a guy for $20.
Yeah. Just sit at the table
that he had just given his girlfriend, and she's fighting him for it. And he's like, "Baby, it's $20." And so, but
I think that was also a Tom Petty album.
A baby is $20.
Baby is $20.
Baby is $20. It's track one on the Roaming Harmonica.
It was, album.
Yeah. It's an LP. So
it was a B-side on Running Down a Dream.
Baby, it's $20.
Baby, it's $20.
It's so, but even Rat tells him, like, dude, follow the bus. Yeah. Get in your truck and follow the bus. So he does, and follows her home. And she really is not interested at all. But he's charming and he's polite and he gives her the flowers. And he's like, "When can I see you again?" He's like, you don't even need to see me. I just want to be around you. Yeah. Like, I just want to be around. And it reminded me a little bit of the conversation in The Jerk, where he's like, with you, when you're with him, will you think of me? And she's like, well, maybe if you two are together, you and the guy are together, you could think of me. He's like, that'd be nice. Like he can't get her off his mind.
Yeah.
So she's
well, she even says to him too. I think this stuck with me as I was watching. She's just kind of dismissively almost says like, I'm not into gangsters.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I want nothing to do with gangsters.
Right. She's like, I'm just, because she's surrounded by it. We find out why here soon.
Yeah.
But she's like, that's not what I want. He's like, I'm not a gangster. I got a job.
Yeah.
Like I love my mom. Like I don't do drugs. I'm not a gangster. I'm not hanging out the side of my best friend's ride trying to holler at you. I ain't no scrub.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
No, don't do that.
Don't
I'm not a creep. Yeah. And so, but he's like, where could I see you again? And there is some eye rolling dialogue in this movie.
Yeah. It is sweet though.
It is. She's like,
it is eye rolling. I think it could be both. It could be sweet and eye rolling.
It was sweet, and I'm glad it was coming out of the mouths of the people it was coming out of.
Yeah.
I guess Tromeo and Juliet probably would have been a better movie marriage.
Yeah, Tromeo and Juliet
with the violence involved. And so, but she's like, you can, you could see me when the moon leaves footsteps across the sky, and he's basically like, huh?
You could hear like the Cro-Magnon like genes in his brain just
huh? And she's like, tomorrow night.
Just find me at the bridge, dummy.
Right. So next day goes to the bridge. She's on the bridge. And he's looking at and he realizes he's got to climb up there. She's like, if you want to see me, climb up here. And he's like, why don't you just come down? Like, I'm afraid of heights. But nothing stands in the way of love. And so up he climbs, and she realizes he's sweet, but he's also raw. Like,
yeah, he's kind of naive.
He kind of spits over the edge, and he makes a couple comments, but she recognizes that this is like
there's a good person there.
There's an unpolished person. There's an unpolished gem under all this.
An unpolished turd.
That's true. But he wins her over. And they spend some time together. And again, the chronology of the film doesn't matter. You get the vibe. It's not the same day, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like they're spending time together. They end up in the woods. They end up in the bayou of Houston. They end up in the woods of the woods of Houston, with a magical forest here as they end up making love in the woods. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was all one session or if they moved to different parts of the woods, because sometimes there were flowers, sometimes there were not. I think you're supposed to use your imagination. It's the imagery of it,
which I think literally is part of that. It's Jason literally using his imagination.
Yeah,
he felt safe in the field of flowers.
Yeah,
going back to the,
exactly. Back to the beginning.
Yeah.
There was imagery here for sure. But it just, even Jenny was like, "Oh, look at the flowers grow." No, actually, she goes, "They've been there a while."
They actually waited for the flowers to bloom.
Whole flower patch has grown, and I said, he's got some endurance, because in the next cut of the film, there's no flowers anymore. I'm like, ooh, now they're all dead, and he's still going.
A lot of beans and Gatorade. They were there a while.
And so, he's still suffering from nightmares, though.
Yeah,
like they've got a good thing going.
Yeah, right, so childhood trauma.
Yeah, so that's Jason and Lyric's path.
Yes.
Back to Josh.
Yeah,
and more specifically, let's get some of Lyric's tertiary characters out of the way. Josh has got a buddy. Well, Josh is doing small time stuff.
Yeah,
selling drugs. He tries to impress his mom at one point and makes a bunch of food, a big spread. Jason's very excited for it. He's proud of Jason, or he's proud of Josh for it. Let me go change. We'll eat. And mom just starts throwing the food away because she recognizes right away. She knows Josh is not a good person.
Yeah.
And she's like, "This is drug money," and he's like, "I don't care. Like, I'm doing this for you." She's like,
"Yeah,
there will be I will starve before I eat food produced by drug money."
Yeah.
And he flips, literally flips the table over.
Incensed. Yeah.
It's like, I get it on both angles. Mom is like, nope, I know that you did not come by this by good means. And meanwhile, he's like, but I'm doing it for you. Like he's trying the best he can.
In the way that he knows.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he gets partnered up with this, this guy. He steals a car because, again, he's been doing this petty stuff. And he's got a friend that's like, I can hook you up with some big stuff, stealing cars, making some real money. Let me introduce you to Alonzo.
Yeah.
Alonzo's a bank. Basically, Alonzo, he's thug. Like, he really is.
He's the gangster type, quote unquote, that Lyric was kind of referencing time, earlier. Yeah.
As opposed to, Josh just doing this petty stuff because that's all he knows. This is what he wants
there's
to
an
do.
Organized crime aspect to Alonzo. Yeah.
So they bring Josh and we're going to rob a bank. And Alonzo's still not quite serious enough about this as he's messing around. He's like, all right, let's rob that bank. And then I'm going to go shopping. Like I'm going to steal watches. And Alonzo's like, no, you're not, he holds a gun to his head. No, you're not. Like, you're not going to screw this up.
This is how we're doing things.
Lyric is Alonzo's sister.
Yeah.
They live in the same house. It's a nice house.
Yeah, it is.
Lyric's upstairs in the balcony. She overhears all this and tells Jason and says, I just want you to know my brothers brought Josh in to rob a bank. Don't cross my brother.
Yeah.
Don't get involved, without telling him directly, basically like your brother's trouble. You can't stop it. So he's like, I'm going to talk to Josh and Josh only. I'm not going to get involved with your brother. And she's like, let's just leave, or he tells her, let's get on one of those buses you talked about. Let's get out of here. And she is like, she lights up. Let's do it. Where are we going? Doesn't matter. Let's just get out of here together. Because she has already, like Jason, she's chosen a high road. She's got, she's got a crime brother and she's trying to become her own person. And she doesn't have a way out either, but together they can team up and get out. So let's meet at the bayou the next day. Well, Jason, Josh is out pumping weights out in the yard, as you do. It's what he's used to, prison. Yeah. Jason goes down there and becomes the strongest man on the planet. as granted, he's lifting weights, but he holds Josh back from, basically tells him, dude, you're messing it the wrong way. It's like, I'm not doing that. He even gives him his gun. Would I do this? Would I do this? Like, keep my gun. I'm not doing it. Yeah. He's doing it. Jason's interference with Josh forces Josh to be late to the drug deal.
To the bank. The bank robbery.
The bank robbery, sorry. Shows up anyway. Like, comes rushing in late.
Yeah, several minutes late.
Yeah. Whole thing falls apart at this point. Yeah. They haven't needed him up to this point, but he being involved really screws things up. People get shot and killed. They demask Josh and leave him. Yeah. And then he goes and steals watches and basically just puffs his chest out and
goes back to what he's used to.
Yeah. So he does get out before the police get there. Josh does. They left the bank but didn't leave him. Yeah. But they torture him. They torture Josh, hang him up. Yeah. They're cutting him, and
scene.
Yeah, very rough
like
scene.
Literally chained up in a warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason's at home telling Mom, I'm leaving. Lyric and we're getting out. Yeah. Why? There's a scene this movie is missing. I don't think it was even shot, but I don't remember a scene where Mom meets Lyric.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't recall that either.
I felt like that's one scene this movie was missing was Jason like introducing the two most important people in his life to each other. Yeah. It wasn't there. It didn't ruin anything, but it just hit me. I'm like, that seems like something Jason would have wanted to do. Yeah. And just didn't happen. So he's telling Mom, Lyric and I are going to move away together. She's kind of excited for him. Yeah, she is. Because she wasn't able to get away, but she wants it for Jason. And she talks about how even though Mad Dog is what he was, like, I still have fond memories of him. This wasn't always him. Like, you found love, go for it. Lyric, meanwhile, is telling her coworker, like, Jason's the real deal. And the coworker, who happens to be with Alonzo.
With Alonzo, yeah.
Because everything's within a 3-block. Well, Houston's not very big.
No, it's not. It's just like LA, New York. Very small community.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the rural movies about Chicago. And so, well, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's a small town. Everything happens. Tight. You could do so much in a day in Chicago.
Just for an hour.
Yeah. Just getting out for an hour.
Just for an hour.
But she's trying to tell her coworker, there's a Jason out there for you too. And she's like, I'm good. Like, you're probably right, but I don't want to wait around for it.
Yeah. She's content. And it kind of goes back to that sense of identity. Like, that's kind of who she is.
This is who I am.
Marty, the coworker.
Yeah. It's who I am. So Jason's home telling mom he's going to leave as Josh comes stumbling in. I don't know how he got freed, but he's been freed.
They let him go, but he, again, this is right after he was chained up and beaten and
basically walks home, and you come stumbling in, and he's hurting real bad.
Yeah,
and Jason can't get rid of that family duty, and he goes after Alonzo.
He does. Finds
him in a bathroom and beats the snot out of him.
Yeah, he does. Really ugly scene.
Yeah, which he also gets beat quite a bit. So then he stumbles down to the bayou. He's ashamed of himself.
Yeah.
And Lyric has got her bag packed. She's ready to go. And she just says, we're not leaving, are we? And he finally breaks down and tells her about Dad. And we see the rest of this scene unfold from earlier.
Yes.
That Josh was the one that went and grabbed the gun. As, Jason was trying to get Mad Dog off of Mom.
Yeah.
Josh goes and grabs the gun. Jason sees the gun and goes and wrestles it away from him. And as Mad Dog kind of yells, Jason turns around and unintentionally fires a shot and kills his dad.
Yeah.
And that's the nightmare he's been struggling with. And
kind of saw that coming.
You did see it coming. Yeah. And so Lyric holds him and consoles him, and she doesn't give up on him.
Yeah.
And so it's just, she tells him, you got to walk away from your brother. Yeah. Like, you can't fix him. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's
if
too
you
far
want
gone.
If you want us to be together, you got to leave him behind.
Yeah.
Cut to Josh in a bar, like Rat and the other guy. The other guy. They seem like he's prepping a gun. He's loading a gun, and they're like, oh crap, They realize what he's going to do. Rat goes and tells Jason that Josh is going to go kill Alonzo.
Yeah.
And he's going after him. And anybody, possibly including Lyric, like, he's going after him.
Whoever's in the way.
Right. So Jason, Rat, and the other guy jump in the truck. They're flying to Lyric's house. Get stopped by a train. Jason, pulls out of the fugitive and jumps across the train, doesn't get hit.
Was that scene in like the trailers? Because
I don't know. I didn't see the trailer.
Because
of which one? The fugitive or Jason's Lyric?
No, for Jason's Lyric.
Oh, I didn't watch the trailer.
Of him like kind of running in front of the train like that.
It seems like a trailer made type shot to.
I felt like I had deja vu with it. Like I had seen that before. But again, it's been over 30 years since this movie came out.
Right. Yeah, and it very well could have been. So Jason then sprints to Lyrics, because again, it's Houston. It's right there.
Everything's within a couple blocks.
And Josh is already there. Now, Alonzo's not. Alonzo and Marty got in his truck and drove to behind a building so they could have sex.
Yeah. Did they drive away, or did they just go around the other side?
He drove away.
Oh, he did? Okay. Okay, that explains. I'm going to have to maybe adjust something for later.
Yeah. They drove off. They got in his red truck of some sort, and they drove off, and they were out behind some building.
Sure. Okay.
Because they didn't know where the forest was. But that also it really
the field of flowers.
But
they couldn't find a field of flowers.
It really, in some ways, it really mirrors Lyric and Marty's look on romance.
Yeah.
As Lyric's only passionate scene in the movie. Well, there's a couple. There's one in the the electronics store, but her first passionate scene was in a just a beautiful landscape of trees and flowers and wilderness and wild.
Mm-hmm.
And Marty's is some back alley against a brick wall.
Yeah. Romance.
Yeah, romance. So Alonzo's not there. Josh strolls up, kills the two guys, heads upstairs looking for Alonzo. He's drunk. I mean, he's out of it. Like, he's just lost. And he's got a gun on Lyric because where's he at? She's like, he's not here. He's got a gun on her. Jason shows up, grabs one of the guns off the ground, heads upstairs and tries to talk Josh down.
Yeah.
One point he even has to hold a gun on his brother and just is like, don't make me do this again. Like, I've already killed one family member for their unhinged violence. I don't want to do this again. And to be fair, when he come running up the stairs, I even said to Jenny, I'm like, Josh is going to kill Jason. I just like, this was where it was coming. And Josh shoots Lyric. And that really was the straw that broke the camel's back, as Jason doesn't say another word to Josh the rest of the movie. Josh is pleading, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Because I really don't think he meant to. Because we see how easy the Alexander brothers pull a trigger.
Yeah.
They don't mean to.
No.
I didn't mean to kill my dad. Look what happened. So he shoots Lyric, and Jason picks her up as Josh is, I didn't mean to. Jason, I didn't mean to. And Jason's carrying her out of the house.
It's just ignoring Josh.
Right. Rat and shows up in the truck. The police show up. People are standing outside. And Jason gets outside carrying Lyric. We hear a gunshot go off upstairs, realizing, well, we saw Josh struggling. He's holding the gun to his head. Yeah. Josh had taken himself out. Jason temporarily, his face melts a little bit. Like, not RoboCop style, but I wouldn't have seen that coming. But he for just a brief moment, you see just grief for a moment of like, and carries Lyric to the ambulance. Camera pans back, cut to him on a bus. We started with him on a bus. Yeah. Cut to him on a bus, and he's kind of talking over of, basically, I got out, and then camera pans back and Lyric's with him. Lyric survived. They're riding on a bus together. They're on their way out because they're both free of what was tying them down to small Houston, Texas.
Yep, and they see the airplane from the beginning.
Yep.
Getting ready to water the field of flowers.
Yep, and that's Jason's Lyric.
Yeah, that's 1994's Jason's Lyric. I'm glad that I had the chance to watch this movie.
Me too.
So Jenny, thank you for suggesting this one. Dip it into a genre that I probably wouldn't consciously gravitate towards.
Well, and it's one of the benefits of our show is when we do open up, because there's been a lot of stuff we've picked that we just haven't seen because it fits whatever silly theme we have for the month.
I mean, like the Hurt Locker from a couple weeks ago. Like neither of us are typically drawn towards that kind of that genre, but good movie. Glad we watched it.
And even though we do, we are dorks and nerds, but I do think we're intelligent enough and respectful enough of cinema that I'll give anything a shot. Like, doesn't mean I'll like it, but I'll give it the respect of at least finishing it. Unless it's Skinamarink, I wouldn't finish Skinamarink. But like, I'll watch it. And this was one that, just like you said, I wouldn't have consciously chosen this movie on my own. Unless we did a month of Jason movies or something like that,
or Lyric movies.
Exactly. Lyrical films. But that's the only way it would have shown up. So I am glad that my wife Jenny chose this, because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, folks, every week Oz and I give our own unique rating to the film we've been yapping about. In this case, 1994's Jason's Lyric. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm giving this 6 forced slow dances.
6 forced slow dances.
Yes. They like to slow dance with no music. They're upstairs. I had Hitch in my movie Marriage at one point because he's taking her on these like adventurous dates and whatever. Yeah. I rented the bus alone, and we've got the upstairs of this alone. But there's a couple of different times where they're slow dancing, and while there's music playing score wise for us, I'm thinking, there's no music in this scene. They're in the middle of the forest. What are they dancing to? They're dancing to the beat of their hearts is what they're dancing to.
Aw.
Which is another Tom Petty song, Dancing to the Beat
of Your Hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the Your Hearts. As if a person's got multiple.
Your Hearts, plural. Like a baboon.
Dancing to the beat of your hearts.
Or like a cow with 4 stomachs.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's mine. Is 6/4 slow dancing. What do you rate?
I like it. I'm going to go with 71 Eddie Griffins.
Okay.
Why not? 71 Eddie Griffin.
I like Eddie Griffin.
Yeah, I like him. I like him in small doses.
Yeah, I would not want
those. Yeah, like him, Chris Tucker, Jack Black is another one. Small doses, I'm fine with. It's when there's too much. Yeah.
Right. You're talking NBA's Eddie Griffin, right?
Yes, NBA's Eddie Griffin.
Okay.
Folks, every week Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, what is your outside insight?
Well, like we've explained before, usually when we like a movie, I try to go find reviews on the opposite end of that spectrum.
Yes.
So I did like this. So I went with 1-star reviews on Letterboxd, which I have. I have 4 short ones.
Okay.
First one, 2 of them are left by the same person, actually. I just realized that. First one is by Stephanie, 1 star. She goes, meh, it was okay. I like Tretch from Naughty by Nature was in the movie. That's it. It's her favorite part.
Naughty by Nature, not because I hate you.
Shania B left a 1-star review. Her first of 2. 1 star. A star for Alan Payne. Fine.
He's
and
a
then
good
her other,
man. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And he's cut. He's cut too. His other 1-star review is, yes, of course we needed another black trauma movie. And then Kurishi left a 1-star review. Not too compelling. Very bleak. Both brothers needed therapy. -1.5 stars for that ending. Talk about treachery. I don't know if that treachery was a Naughty by Nature pun or
treachery.
Yeah. So, but I like it. Yeah, those are fun. Just And to be fair, looking just based on the Letterboxd like profile photo, 3 of these 4 reviews appear to be from Black women. Okay. So not that matters, but
I give context. Yeah.
Yeah, but a star for Alan Payne. Fine. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Good looking man.
What was mom's name? Dolores or something like that?
Gloria
raises some good looking kids.
She did. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Bokeem Woodbine either.
Both very good looking men.
And it's a shame because apparently if Josh and Jason can get as physically in good shape as they are from just a bench press with some old sand filled weights out in the yard, what's my excuse?
You don't need it's common misconception. You don't need the actual weights. You just need sand.
Yeah, that's true.
just pick up some loose sand.
The problem is I try that logic, but I look this way because of sandwiches.
Oh, okay.
I lift too many of those.
Yes, you're still technically lifting sand.
Is that not work? So those are my outside insights. What do you got?
I got 2 this week. As always, mine come from the Internet Movie Database. The first is a 6 out of 10 left in April of 2002 by Dundee the Great. With
Crocodile Dundee the Great.
Yeah, no, again, 6 out of 10. Remember that.
Okay.
With the subject line and a urban love story as opposed to an. Urban love story. Jason's Lyric is clearly one of the best urban love stories ever put on film. I think Forrest Whitaker and Bokeem Woodbine both deserved Oscar nods for their work. I give it 4 stars out of 4 stars.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. 4 stars out of 4 stars.
I don't think that conversion's converting.
It's a metric to standard.
Yeah.
My other is a 10 out of 10 left in June of 2006 by VT Lyric. Sure. Subject line, excellent movie. I own the Rottweiler puppy Lyric that was in the movie. I'm going to read that again. I own the Rottweiler puppy that was in the movie. My Rottweiler, whose name is Lyric, again, this was written in 2006.
Okay.
is now 13 years old and was in this movie when she was 7 weeks old. I named her Lyric after the role of Jada Pinkett. Lyric went on to be an American and Canadian champion dog. I am looking at showing Lyric at the Reliant Center World Dog Show in Houston this next month. She'll be shown in Veterans Class 12 years and older. This is a Rottweiler specialty show.
So what was the review?
It ends with, as always, I cut a couple. It ends with, thank you for letting me share.
Okay, so this was a self-promoting movie review.
Yes, nothing to do with the movie.
No, nothing at all.
I mean, gave it a 10 out of 10. I mean, I love this for two reasons. One, it has nothing to do with the movie, but the other one is like, yes, I actually own the dog that was in the movie.
Yeah, it's
become a show dog.
Yeah, that's great because you see prop things all the time. You know, like there was that show on Sci-Fi for a while it was basically a guy going and vetting whether people's Hollywood props were legit Hollywood props. That was a cool show. I can't remember what it was called, but the guy would travel all around the world. And the way my favorite part of that show was someone would be like, yeah, I have the side panel off of the car in RoboCop 2 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And so he'd be like, well, I'll come and verify if it's actually the prop. And how he would do it, he would look at the prop and then just watch the movie. And I'm not kidding. They would do like
that's it,
frame by frame, and be like, well, I do see there's a dent over here. And that does reflect with, when the dent over here. So yeah, that's authentic. And the guys are like, all right.
We're taking Peter Weller's DNA or anything.
Exactly. And that's about what it was. It was just, I went and watched the film, and yeah, I could see where what you have is what's there on film.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. It was a show. What was the name of the show? It's probably, prop show sci-fi.
Yeah, as I'm going through IMDb, unfortunately for this movie, there weren't a lot of reviews in IMDb, and I came across this one. It was like it's like, this isn't going to be haha funny, but like it's
it's so fun,
so unique and bizarre.
Yeah,
like I own the dog.
Hollywood Treasure was the name of that show.
Okay.
My name is Joe Madalena. I hunt for iconic treasures from the movies on TV shows and TV shows you love, and auction them for prices you wouldn't believe. So that's what you do. It was almost like Antique Roadshow, but for Hollywood props.
Just with movie props.
Yeah, and so they and he would then consign it from them, and he would take it to an auction, and then it was really cool. Like the first episode, we'll get back to it in a second. Joe tries to recover one of the mechanical sharks used in Jaws that was on display in a junkyard. And then later on, a Chicago family offers to auction the original carpet bag prop used in Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it was. And it was just this guy, and they were like an hour long, and it was a cool show. It was a cool show. Jenny and I would watch it.
All right. Well, hey, folks, it is that point in the show you've all been waiting for, the Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, Jason's Lyric. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one comes from, I watched the second half of this in high def, but the first half of this I watched in standard definition.
Okay.
I watched one of them upstairs on our box, and the first half upstairs, second half downstairs. And I purposely picked a different app to watch it on, but the first one was standard def. So my first like is the nostalgia of 90s standard definition movies.
Okay.
The technology behind VHS and film was high enough that it wasn't like super grainy, but it also wasn't 4K high def. Sharp.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I really like this movie. To be fair, like the high def second half wasn't really any less distinguishable from the standard def.
You could see Alan Payne's butt better.
Yeah, this wasn't getting the Criterion treatment of restoration. But it really like unlocked this little box in my brain of like, I remember movies looking like this. Because everything's so polished and high def these days.
Yeah.
And so to be able to watch it, it felt like a clean VHS copy
Yeah.
of a movie, and it was shot that way. And just every era of film, every decade of film has its own look to it. So this was still pre-digital, but better technology filmmaking, and it just had that look of, like, Urban Legend was another movie that kind of had that same, I can't describe the look, but you know it when you see it. And so this had that. So that's my first good, kind of long-winded way there, but the nostalgia of 90s standard def film.
Love it.
My second one is the relationship Jason has with his mom. He stunted his own opportunities in an effort to recognize the pain his mom has gone through. Not only she, the trauma that Mad Dog had put upon them, but also one of her sons constantly being incarcerated. And so he toughed it out for her and still stayed positive. He wasn't remorseful or holding her accountable. It was his choices. So my second one is the relationship he had with his mom. And the third one, that convertible truck, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because they just pulled the top off of it and stuck it in the back, and I was like, okay,
now you have a convertible,
convertible truck. So those are my three goods. What do you got?
Nice. I love them all. My first one is, I'm going to start with, I mentioned this as a character in the movie, but just this movie does a good job. Again, not that you and I are experts on this topic, but of capturing Black Houston culture.
Yes.
I really felt like that was its own character of sorts in the movie. And I thought they did it again. This isn't LA. This isn't East Coast, West Coast. This is South Texas. And it's just, and then you throw in like the Black aspect of it. And so I thought it was a unique take on Black culture, and it showed in the movie.
The only white people we saw in this film were the people in the bank and the police officers that showed up at the end.
It's ironic.
Yeah.
In some ways. The people with money and the people with guns.
So, and so it was, in one instance, it was when Alonzo and his gang left their area of Houston. They had, when they left to go rob a bank, that's where the white people were. And the police came into that area of Houston because of the gunshots.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's segregation.
Yep. So just the fact that it showcased Black Houston culture. So
I apologize. Yeah. And the guy and his white date that he bought the flowers from at the restaurant.
That's right.
At the Soul Food restaurant. I apologize for that one. That guy too.
So that's my first good. My second good is just the depiction of alcoholism, the effects of childhood trauma, and how long lasting those are, especially with when you don't have support services, treatment available, and it just festers and it just infects everything. And that this movie did a great job of depicting the reality of the long-term effects of those. And then my final one is Alan Payne's splotchy, hairy torso. Good looking man, but he has some odd body hair patterns, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So
I think it goes with being a person who sells televisions.
Is that what it, like the waves, like
Steve Carell sold TVs in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and he didn't exactly have the best looking body hair either. Granted, his was waxed off of it, but still.
So if you sell residential electronics, you're going to have weird body hair.
More than likely, yes.
Okay. Yep. So that's my third good. Alan Torso's weird, oddly weird, hairy chest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like how you just called him Alan Torso.
Did I call him Alan Torso?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean, he's got a nice torso.
He does too. Yeah, he's a handsome dude.
Yeah. What movie is it where there's just was it Miss Torso? Rear Window.
Oh yeah.
Where he calls the neighbor
or Freaks.
Or Freak. Yeah, Miss Torso.
Yeah, Miss Torso.
Right, Oz, what are your two bads?
Jason and Josh sleeping in the same bed, like not literally the same bed, but like the same beds they had as children. They still sleep in those same.
Noticed that too.
Like it's the same bedroom. Like I don't know if it was just for cost reasons that you didn't redress the set, but yeah, it was the exact same setup that Josh and Jason had as children. Here we are, umpteen years later, still sleeping in the same beds. And my second one is we kind of mentioned it earlier. There is some dialogue in this movie that probably looked a lot better on the page than it did coming out of someone's mouth.
Yeah.
I think Diablo Cody has that same problem with her writing. I think she's very witty, but then sometimes, like you're watching Juno, you're like, some of this is, nobody talks this way. Like this isn't natural speech pattern. But other than but like we also mentioned, I'm glad that kind of language was coming out of only Lyric and Jason, because they were the only two that really had hope and had aspirations. And so I'm glad that they could communicate together that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there was some of it just like, I'll see you when the moon leaves footprints across the sky. What?
No, just I'll see you at sunset.
Yeah, is it Tuesday? Like, exactly. All right, I guess I'll catch you sometime. So that's my two bads. What do you got?
My two bads. The first one is Treach needs to stick to hip hop and not acting. He was not good
he wasn't
in
good.
this movie. And his character is supposed to be menacing, and he just didn't sell it at all. I mean, you could tell he was trying. So I don't discredit him for his effort, but it just wasn't working for me, that performance.
I agree.
And then the other one is, this movie came out in 1994. You're going to name your lead character Jason Alexander. Same actor who was the co-star of the biggest sitcom at the time, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You couldn't have come up with a different name.
Right.
Because we're in Black Houston, and you don't want, when you look at Alan Payne, you don't want to also think of the actor Jason Alexander.
Question though.
Yes.
Do you think Seinfeld was a popular show for the Black community?
I see where you're going.
Is there the possibility that it just may not have been like, oh, there's a Jason Alexander.
I see that logic. I completely understand that logic in universe, in context of these characters. Right. I understand that and completely give you that one. But if you're writing this movie, if we come back to the meta and you're writing the movie,
right,
you're probably aware that there is a very, very popular comedic actor named Jason Alexander
who married Britney Spears for a short period of time. Different Jason Alexander.
different Jason Alexander. But I don't know. It's
I'm with you though.
It's almost like we have we're gonna name our lead character Mel Gibson.
Yeah. And then be like, oh, there's another one of those?
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah. So
they were probably going for something as stark different of Bokeem Woodbine as they could get.
What is the opposite of Bokeem Woodbine?
Yeah.
Bokeem Woodbine, Jason Alexander.
It translates.
Yes. So those are my two bads. Oz, what's your
Why do some women insist on playing hard to get? Like, I'm not in the hunt.
That's a different topic for another day.
It is. But and like I said, I'm not looking for a legit answer, but just there were me projecting onto Jason. There were so many times I would have been like, okay, bye. Like, it's not a, granted, I'm a extremely happily married man. So, but there have been times in the past where, you try to bark up a tree and that tree's not interested. You just like, okay, I'm going away. Even if they're interested and they're like, oh, come on, play the game. Like, I'm not.
Some people just like the game.
They do.
They
do.
Some people like the hunt or the chase, depending on your perspective there.
And some people like to be chased and they like that flatter. And that's fine. That's fine. And this is, of course, my not a general but it was, that's one that I've never understood.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm just too naive and I don't think outside the box that well, that I'm like, oh, if I were to ask someone on a date because I was interested and polite and kind and they're like, no, I'm not interested. Okay, then I'm not going to ever ask you again because you just told me no. And then there's some guys that are like, yeah, but she kind of meant yes. And I'm like, that's just not how my brain works.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
I mean, you've told me so many times about how you and Jenny met and how she pursued you so many times and you just go,
Oh, I love to be chased. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Call me when the moon leaves footprints across the sky.
And then she rolls her eyes and like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a I'm gonna go get a milkshake.
Yeah, I've heard that line before. I've seen Jason's lyric.
Yeah, I've heard that a million times.
Right, but no, I struggled to come up with really any other Hans that topped that one for me. It was just like, dude, like, just go to Dallas. Go to Dallas, take that store management job and better yourself. But he's like, but there's a girl.
There's a lady.
And she doesn't like me, so I'm going to make sure that I could change her mind.
Yeah.
So those are my huh. That's my only huh. What you got?
Okay. I got to share a backup, and then I'll get my real huh.
Okay.
My backup huh, this is, I was debating which of these to go with. So I'll say this one's my backup. Early on in the movie, after Josh is out, and he's been out for a bit of prison, Jason pulls a drunken Josh from a strip club, and he has a bottle with him. And Josh takes it and just throws it against the Coke machine, and the bottle just shatters into a million pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no like big chunks of glass. It just disintegrates.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of bottle shatters like that?
It's made of the same glass as that woman's like driver's side window that he busted out to steal her car.
Yeah.
Like he hits that with the butt of his gun, and that thing like it just exploded.
Yeah, and I mean, and you and I both know the answer. It's Hollywood glass.
It's candy glass.
It's that's what it is. But like, it was really obvious that was not a real glass.
Yeah, because those bottles are pretty firm. We've seen movies where you could knock someone out by hitting a bottle over their head.
Yeah,
and
we saw Strange Days a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and this is like, I'm going to throw this bottle 4 feet away.
Yeah, and it just disintegrates into nothing.
Yeah.
So, but my real huh is, what kind of, speaking of glass, Oz, what kind of display case, how thick was the glass on the display case in the electronics store?
It was not made of the same thing that bottle was.
No, that clearly was. You skirted over it earlier because it wasn't essential to the plot. Yeah. But there's two big sex scenes in this movie. You mentioned the one of them, when they're out in the
deep woods of Houston.
Yes, in the deep woods of Houston. But there's the other one where she goes to his electronics store. Mm-hmm. He's like cleaning up for the night or whatever, and they end up having pretty graphic sex on a glass display case.
Yes.
So like, that had to be some pretty heavy duty glass there.
Jada Pinkett's not that big.
That's true. But I mean, he was putting some of his weight on it too.
True. Like, I guess what we found out is that Jason Alexander does not have sex with the same force that he throws glass bottles.
It all comes down to physics.
Thankfully, or else Jada Pinkett would have been shattered into 1,000 pieces.
She would have just disintegrated.
Which is good.
Oh, Mom, it happened again.
It's why there's so few women in Houston.
He keeps
he didn't mean to kill his dad. He didn't mean to destroy all these girls, and
that explains all the trauma.
Yeah, I'm glad he could control his throttle. That's why there's so much. Yeah, it was like the only women left were the women that were singing in the choir at the fair.
Yeah, that's true. That's it. That's all the black women that are left in Houston.
That Alonzo the bank robber sitting around listening to the choir sing at the fair.
Yeah.
At the Houston County Fair, they had a tilt-a-whirl and maybe this. You know what? I don't know. I didn't see Akeem Olajuwon, so this must have been a different part of Houston.
Yeah, it's I didn't see Otis Thorpe.
Yeah, it would have been fun
if
Well, it's like The Exorcist 3 had Patrick Ewing playing, as an angel. It would have been nice to see Houston pull out some of. Vernon Maxwell easily could have been in Alonzo's band. He could have been in his gang.
Kenny Smith.
Yeah.
I think Barkley was on the team at that time.
Like you said, Otis Thorpe.
My man. All right, so folks, that is 1994's Jason's Lyric. Jenny, again, thank you for suggesting this one. I am a better person for having seen this, and I appreciated this movie. I appreciated the era it came from, and just kind of what it represented to Hollywood.
So what film does your wife bring to the table? Surely it's as much
similar.
Of a cultural milestone.
Yes. That's a great way to put this next movie. Cultural milestone.
Yeah.
Last week we had The Princess Bride, which was Patreon subscriber Melissa L's choice.
Yeah.
we had Jason's Lyric this week, which was your wife's choice. And
which
next
is
week,
a very similar storyline to The Princess Bride.
very similar.
Man
Very
and woman
similar.
are connected, and they chase down, and there's violence.
Yes. Lots of sex on glass cases in The Princess Bride.
Right.
So next week we are we're only going back 1 year from Jason's Lyric. We're going from 94 to 93 to the Mike Myers vehicle. So I Married an Axe Murderer. There's something very apropos and perhaps a little too on the nose for this movie and my relationship with Patreon subscriber Melissa L. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Well, spoiler alert, keep an eye on Allison. That would be the one I would be concerned about.
Okay, noted. We will. Yes, I'll keep an eye on my sister-in-law.
Yeah, I really like this movie.
It is a fun movie.
I've seen this movie several times growing up, and I put this movie. There's a catalog of films that are like before they were big. That I think when they're making some of these smaller films, with their big personalities, making early films, to where they're not as they're more digestible, I guess you should say. Like this is one for me with Mike Myers. I think Mike Myers gets a little too Mike Myers-ish at times.
Yes, agreed.
And this isn't one of them. And that it's a happy place for me. Jim Carrey has a couple of those. I've mentioned Once Bitten several times on the show. That's another early Jim Carrey film. That's not full-blown Jim Carrey yet. Like he's not given carte blanche to just
he's not talking with his butt cheeks.
Exactly. But he's still clearly got some talent. It just hasn't been honed yet. And I like that just kind of somewhat raw, you see the potential of a person, and so you give them a little thing to deal with. And, I'm sure Jack Black's got one of those too, High Fidelity being one, although he wasn't the star of that. That's one that I can handle Jack Black.
Yeah, I like Jack Black in that movie.
I do too.
Because it's not just 150% Jack Black for 2 hours.
Yeah, I would say Swingers for...
like Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I drew a blank on his name. Swingers for Vince Vaughn is that for me. Vince Vaughn gets to the point where he's just Vince Vaughn in every movie, and that one is like, okay, there's some fun here. Like he's still acting. He's not being himself yet. And so I Married an Axe Murderer is that movie for me for Mike Myers.
It's post Wayne's World. It's only a year after Wayne's World, but it's pre Austin Powers, pre Shrek.
Well, and it's pre Wayne's World too. And I know that seems like a silly, but it's like Wayne's World was huge, but he wasn't huge yet.
It's pre The Love Guru.
Yes, that too. Was this pre Blow?
Was he in that?
He was in Blow.
I've never seen Blow. I think Blow was 97-ish.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of those other that kind of like a Jason's Lyric that just brings a lot of like 90s standard def nostalgia.
Yeah.
Of like it's not a movie that needs to be seen in high def, but that almost makes it more enjoyable because it's that like time capture kind of like and so that was a fun one. I think Paul Rubens is in that too.
Yeah,
I know he is. Paul Rubens as Paul Rubens. It's not Pee Wee in this one. I miss Paul Rubin.
I know. Yeah, that's so sad.
Him and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he's so good. Of course, Pee Wee, obviously, but So I Married an Axe Murderer for next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
I am too. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I do really. I just like his beat poetry. Woman, whoa, man,
Harriet.
And this is he's still in some ways like he's Mike Myers in the way that Eddie Murphy's Eddie Murphy. Yeah, like he plays multiple roles and but it's I do like this movie a lot. So and it's got Amanda Plummer, and you can't not love Amanda Plummer.
No, she's great. Yeah, she's great at this.
She's like the Bokeem Woodbine of this movie.
She is Amanda. I can't think of Bokeem Woodbine without thinking of Amanda Plummer.
Yeah, so interchangeable in Pulp Fiction, those two.
Yes.
I think Bokeem Woodbine was your stunt double.
Yeah. To see Tim Roth calling Bokeem Woodbine Honey Buddy.
Honey Buddy, and her jumping up on the table, or
Yeah.
him jumping up on the table and dress.
Ready, Honey Buddy? Bokeem Woodbine as a Honey Buddy.
As Amanda Plummer as Honey
Amanda
Buddy.
Plummer as Honey Buddy.
This week on Inside the Actor Studio, we've got Bokeem Woodbine.
What inspired your performance as Honey Buddy, Bokeem Woodbine?
Oh, social media wise, you guys can find us on social media. And YouTube and all that stuff. I've got to get back to posting the shorts. It's been a very busy couple of weeks. And it's not that the shorts take time, but it's like I still need to listen to them, and they're 30-second clips to make sure they're what I want. But my week does free up a little bit more this week, so I'll get to them. But like I said, catch us on our website and social media and YouTube and all the places. And like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And for another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you guys next week with So I Married an Axe Murderer.